Trump defeats ISIS in months after years of excuses from Obama. Donald Trump, the Cheeto Cheetah, has scratched the eyes of ISIS and destroyed them in their own capital, Raqqa. And Trump, the Cheeto Cheetah, has done more damage to ISIS than Obama ever did in his entire presidency. And the media is barely talking about this because it makes Trump look good. But the Iranian nation's going to talk about it. And I made a video just a few minutes ago stating that Trump was not elected to be a nice guy. He was elected to get certain things done, and he has succeeded so far. And the complete destruction of ISIS was one of those things, and so far he is succeeding. And I didn't get into depth as much as I would have liked to in that video, so I decided to make another video dedicated exclusively to Trump's destruction of ISIS, destroying them in their own capital, liberating Iraq from ISIS. And Trump has done more to destroy ISIS in only a year and a few days of being president than Obama ever did in his entire term as president, 8 years. Obama called them the JV team. Obama made excuses. Obama actually said that a quick fix to ISIS was impossible. But Donald Trump, the Cheeto Cheetah, has destroyed ISIS in Iraq, and Raqqa, which was their self-proclaimed capital, so ISIS, the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, Raqqa was their capital, and Raqqa has been liberated from ISIS. 9 months after President Trump promised to defeat ISIS, quickly and effectively, U.S.-backed forces capture Raqqa, which until Tuesday had served as ISIS's capital. And this is from an article that I have right now. I'm just reading a little bit of this article here. Trump, not surprisingly, claims it for himself, rightly so, which is a lot of things that he claims. Before dismissing this as typical Trump self-aggrandizement, yeah, that's the word that they put, consider that for several years, Obama insisted that a quick and decisive victory against ISIS was all but impossible. So this Barack Hussein Obama, it was not possible. You can't do it. It takes time. It takes time. You can't do it. So let's consider something for a second. So y'all know I'm in Canada right now. So let's see the difference. The long-haired Mac Daddy, Justin Trudeau, what is he doing with ISIS? He's bringing them into Canada. Come on in here, ISIS. Come on in here. We will try and rehabilitate you and reintegrate you. Some people call him jihadi, Justin. I just call him the long-haired Mac Daddy because he is a Mac Daddy. He says, oh, we have to, he says one thing, but his intentions are totally different. Bringing ISIS in here, trying to rehabilitate them. But ISIS is only going to use that as a way to gain access into Canada. And now that Donald Trump has them on the run, their new tactic is going to be, well, we got this long-haired Mac Daddy up in Canada who is allowing us to come into Canada. He wants to rehabilitate us. So all you guys who used to live in Canada who are now in ISIS, go back to Canada, pretend to be rehabilitated, put on a smiley face, be the sociopath that you are, and when the Canadians' backs are turned, you go hop on a subway or a GO train or a bus and blow that shit up. Blow it up. Blow it up. And kill all them Canadians. Men, women, children, kill them all. Shoot up a nightclub. Shoot up a gay club. That's what they'll do. They will gain access to Canada, and when our backs are turned, blow us up, shoot us, run us over, pretend to be rehabilitated, and when they feel that, The government believes them. They might do a little talk at the University of Toronto or Laval or not, McGill University, and they'll say, oh, joining ISIS is wrong, but they got their fingers crossed behind their back and then they blow us up. But Trump is killing ISIS. He is destroying ISIS. And that's one of the things he promised that he did. Donald Trump was not elected to be a nice guy, like so many people expect our presidents to be. All our presidents have different personalities. Donald Trump was elected to do a few things. Stop illegal immigration, which he is doing. Illegal immigration is way down. He hasn't built the wall yet, but I guess that takes time. Bring back jobs. He's done that. Millions of jobs are coming back to the United States. There's consumer confidence in the United States. Employees are getting bonuses from businesses. They're being paid extra for the work that they're doing without doing extra work, which is good. GDP, he was elected to bring that up. Barack Hussein Obama never got GDP above 1%. Donald Trump is on his way to having 4% GDP growth. And Donald Trump was elected to destroy ISIS. And he's gotten rid of their capital. That's like Nazi Germany getting rid of Berlin. That's like the same thing. So ISIS is on the run. So while Canada and their long-haired Mac Daddy are busy trying to bring ISIS into the country to try and rehabilitate them, which is the most naive thing I've ever heard, because ISIS, they're not idiots. I mean, they're evil, but they're not idiots. They're going to bring their soldiers into Canada, make them pretend to be rehabilitated, and then they'll just blow us up when our backs are turned. Donald Trump is blowing up ISIS, destroying ISIS, took away their capital. ISIS does not exist in Iraq anymore. Now we have to get rid of them in Syria. Barack Hussein Obama said there is no such thing as a quick fix to destroying ISIS. It's impossible to do. You can't do it. So Barack Hussein Obama said, you can't do it. But Donald Trump did it. Cheeto Cheetah did it. Barack Hussein Obama called them the JV team. You had terrorist attacks day after day after day after day in Paris and in Nice and in Manchester and in London and in San Bernardino and Orlando and New York and all over the place. And we're still having terrorist attacks, yes. But first of all, they're not as much. But second of all, and more importantly, Donald Trump is, if Donald Trump had his way, there wouldn't be any, because he's trying to get rid of this whole lottery immigration thing where people can bring in their family, and he wants a point-based immigration system, which is what we have here in Canada, which is good. Canadians, and in fact, let me tell you something about this point. I'll tell you something about that. Having a points-based immigration system actually would mean more immigrants. Canada has the most immigrants in the world. I think Australia has the most, and then Canada is the next most. But we have a points-based system, which means in Canada, you do not set foot in this country to live here. You will not sleep and snore in this country unless you check off a certain criteria. I don't know, have a job, you make money, this, that. They go through points. This, and this. And if you don't meet even the singlest point, you don't get into this country. You will not live in this country. America, they just bring in anybody. But Canada has more immigrants. And I'm going to do a video on this to wake up you Americans out there who think that Donald Trump, if he puts in a point system like they do in Canada and Australia, he's trying to limit immigrants. No! That would bring in more immigrants. Because you don't come into the country unless you follow, you go the points, like you meet certain criteria. You meet certain criteria. And we have more immigrants than whatever. Canada has the second most immigrants on earth, which means more people come to Canada and Australia. And we have a point system. But America, which just opens up its doors to everybody, nobody comes. So, but that's not what I'm talking about. So Donald Trump would actually bring in more immigrants with a point system. So all you Ku Klux Klan, neo-Nazi, white supremacists out there, you all don't want immigrants? You better pray that Donald Trump keeps the current system that he has. But and not only that, the immigrants that come to Canada and Australia are bright, smart, intelligent immigrants because they follow the point system like my parents. They never take a cent, but the immigrants, not all, but many of the immigrants that come to America are bringing America down because there is no point system. So you guys don't get as much immigrants, but the immigrants you do get are no good. So what good is that? But Donald Trump has ISIS on the run. They're no longer in Iraq, and he's only been president for a year and a few days because of the strategies that have been taken. Donald Trump ain't joking around. Barack Hussein Obama ISIS only grew under Barack. In fact, ISIS was created under Barack Hussein Obama. In fact, many would say that America created ISIS. Many would say that because they were trying to get rid of Gaddafi. They were trying to get rid of the Egyptian dictator, Bashar al-Assad, and they would fund all these groups, and they turned into ISIS. The same thing with Al-Qaeda. America funded Al-Qaeda during the Cold War, and look what happened. 9/11. So America needs to stop funding people. I've said many times, with this whole thing going on in Iran, I say we should leave Iran the hell alone because we don't know who these people are who are trying to fight the Iranian regime. I'm not saying I like the Iranian regime, but America has a bad habit of funding these Muslims in these Middle Eastern countries, and they only turn around and blow all y'all up. So I would leave the Middle East alone. But Donald Trump is doing what he is supposed to do. GDP growth, jobs coming back, illegal immigration down, ISIS on the run. So we need to infest the Senate and the House of Representatives with Republicans, preferably Trump-like Republicans in 2018 in the midterms, because if the Democrats get the Senate and the House of Representatives, and if Nancy Pelosi becomes the Speaker of the House, and if Chuck Schumer becomes the majority leader, Donald Trump is going to be impeached. Mark my words. Y'all in Missouri, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Florida, Ohio, get rid of your Democrat Congress people and senators. Put in Trump-like Republicans or any Republican. Otherwise, Trump is going to be impeached. He's going to be impeached. I'm going to tell you, these Democrats do not want Trump to be staying there for too long. They will impeach him the moment they get in there. This is the Irana Nation.